this is a very good, as you said at the top there, it's a very good ground for Tottenham Hotspur, but it's the acid test. I agree with Jolie, and I disagree with the Opta Index there. I just think that never ever rule out Man City and Pep Guardiola, and I think it's a rebuilding process. Of course it is, but he doesn't want time. He expects, and they all expect there, that they'll be challenging and possibly winning the Premier League, but they need to win today if they want to do that. Like we see time and time again, you can't fall behind against a team like Liverpool. If they can't drop behind on points, so they need to win the home games and they need to start today.
It'd be hard not to improve, though, on the Premier League form under Ange Postecoglou. I know they won a trophy, and that's the main thing, and that's what it's all about. But 17th last season, and some questionable results the way out.
I think I could, without sticking my neck out, I can say they won't finish 17th. It's sad to see how it's possible. I felt that we made a decision. Assess the squad. They could challenge on all fronts last year. He felt that they could, so he chose the Europa League to target. And you have to give him credit because he succeeded. Whatever he tried to do, he succeeded. And there was a massive prize at the end of it, which was qualification for the Champions League. And not only that, for the fans to lift the trophy. They put on us. I haven't seen that for a very long time. So I was sad to see him leave. I really was. And I think it's a big ask for Thomas Frank to go in there and try and produce a trophy this year. Yes. But they will finish higher than 17.
Thank you, Tim, for that prediction. Neck on the block. Stylistically, what's going to be different from Postecoglou for Spurs?
They need to have more balance when attacking. Defensively, it sounds strange. I think they was very exposed at times, and it's hard for me to watch as an ex-defender that we're asking defenders to defend all the same way. Not everyone has the pace of Mickey Victor, and so in order to ask Romelu to do that, it's difficult. Hopefully there's more balance in that approach and more respect for the opposition, because everyone has a threat now. Every team is capable of scoring goals if you give them the kind of opportunities that we give them.
Yeah, all right, let's head to the Etihad and get the team in full with Mr. Ian Irving. Ian, how are City and Spurs lining up?
This is how Arsenal line up.
A refreshed Manchester City, isn't it? I heard some conversation during the day if you go through the field, there's lots of debuts for City today. Home debuts for people like James Trafford, to Johnny Reinders, Ryan Nori as well. Trafford, obviously, the real eye-catching one, because Ederson stays on the bench for Manchester City. Lots of speculation about his future, but he's over the illness that kept him out of the game against Wolves last time out. There's also a full Premier League debut for Ryan Cherky as well, who came off the bench to score at Molineux. 2 changes in total from the team that beat Wolves, with Omar Mamouche also coming into the starting lineup. Bernardo Silva and Jeremy Doku drop out of the 11. It's a Manchester City bench that includes Rodri and Phil Foden again after
This is today's Bayern Munich starting lineup.
Also 2 changes, but more notably, I think it doesn't look like a change of formation for Thomas Frank. He has played with about 5 here for Brentford in the past, but it looks like 4-3-3 again for Spurs. There are 2 changes, like I say, but both of them are in midfield. Joao Paulinho comes in for his full Spurs Premier League debut in midfield, along with Rodrigo Bentancur, with Archie Gray and Lucas Bergwall dropping down to the bench. And it means that Richarlison is preferred to Dominic Solanke in attack after being on the score sheet on the opening weekend.
Ian, it's a goalkeeping dilemma, isn't it? I mean, a good one, potentially, for Pep Guardiola. But Trafford, as you mentioned, starting in goal, we don't see Ederson on the bench too much at the Etihad. And another name being mentioned with Ederson's future up in the air.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of speculation about the goalkeeper position for City. Pep Guardiola, speaking in the press conference yesterday, was asked about Ederson's future. Last week he said he was a Manchester City #1. This time around he said he wasn't sure who would start this game. He's gone with James Trafford. It's a big day for him, like you mentioned as well. It is his first ever Premier League start for the team that he grew up in here at Manchester City. So a big occasion for him. Keep an eye on his performance. But Gianluigi Donnarumma is the player, of course. Gianluigi Donnarumma, sorry, is the player.
Well, here it is again. You have to praise the pressure to win the ball out the field. But the keeper's got to get rid through that. It should be better if he's there. It's poor that.
Oh.
Manchester City. There are some question marks about exactly how he'd fit in, because his ability on the ball has been in question in the past, and of course that's been a huge part of what Ederson has managed to do here at City, but definitely a situation to keep an eye on between now and the end of the transfer window.
Ian, top man, thank you very much. Ian Irving live at the Etihad Stadium, joining that City team. I mean, you said before we came on air, you watch 100%, it's not going to be the same team as Molineux, you're right. And you also said that Pep will be treating this as pre-season almost, albeit 2 games into the Premier League campaign.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, they have to go 3 weeks out. 3 weeks, so to expect everyone to play. They have to just operate as normal. Slightly naive, which Pep isn't. So you have the rotation. He does it anyway. He doesn't rely on
Not the end of the move they were looking for.
Hopefully, won't check
You need 3 or 4 games, Joe. Yeah, yourself up to time fitness. Even though you play pre-season games, nothing like it. Yeah, there's more scrutiny now and more pressure playing pre-season because everything's televised. I think it takes you 3 or 4 games. Certainly, it did for me to feel like I was up to full speed. Joe didn't probably a little bit longer.
What do you boys
I know that for sure.
It's all it was. What do you boys make of the goalkeeping situation? Because I know a lot of Manchester City fans would like Trafford to be given the chance, and he's starting to be able to get chance again today. Donnarumma's name is lurking in the wings.
I think this is a telling one. I think last week it was an easy decision because he's ill. Edison's ill, so you're going to play Trafford. But to keep him in the team today, I think that's a telling factor to where he sees the number 1 spot. But having worked with Trafford, he's capable. Definitely believes he's got the attributes, and having seen him firsthand, he's got a level of calmness that you need at the top level.
By picking that in today, do you think that means Ederson will leave the club? I think it would find it very difficult to sit on the bench.
Yeah, he definitely wants to sit on the bench. Since not number 1 for Brazil, but he's going to want a challenge in it. To do that, you're going to have to play. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he leaves by the end of the
season. Sounds like a crazy question, because he's such a good goalkeeper, but do they need Donnarumma?
I think what Ian says there, I think it's absolutely valid. I'm not sure he plays with his feet well enough to play for a Guardiola side. The only thing I would say, they do play a lot of long balls. And there's some Ederson plays long balls, they do change it. They're not like stuck in the waves like Maresca at Chelsea. I think he has there's like a requirement for the goalkeeper to join in a bit almost. Short passes, he's definitely going also it's a similar, huge success doing that. So he's a natural speed, which is probably isn't as good as Ederson. For me, it's always been the most important thing for him. He can definitely do that. And decision making on the ball, I think he's got enough experience now. He's obviously won one of the biggest trophies there is to win last year with PSG. We talk about loyalty in the game. No loyalty from PSG there, is it? Thank you very much. We'll finish with you. Go and find somewhere else to play.
It'll be fascinating to see where he ends up. He said goodbye to PSG last night. On the Spurs team, Tim, 2 changes as well. Bentancur and Paulinho in. What do you make of that shape, that setup for a trip to the Etihad?
Well, I think a lot of their midfield players are similar characteristics. Could be Bal in there. Lack creativity in their midfield, but they're certainly full of energy, box to box. I think Bentancur's got more to his game. The way he's showing, but it's interrupted from injuries last season. Paulinho will come in there. Once it's for sure, Paulinho will get booked today. That's what I can say. He goes to ground more than any player I've seen, but he sometimes times it very, very well. But he's just sometimes a little bit eager against the top sides when they're running the other side of you. I think for sure, jerky in and around him today, I think he would cause him a few problems, but he just lacked the creativity. You need a player like, dare I say it,
that ship sailed, hasn't it?
Unfortunately, it has. And he's sailed to the wrong place.
There's the white side of North.